There was an episode about me basically saying that I am tired of cooking. I'm tired of cooking for myself, but I know that it's something that I need to do. Even though I know it cognitively that I need to do it, it can be a lot sometimes to actually cook for myself. But I will say I have actually been able to cook meals for myself. I feel very proud. I'm very proud of myself that I've been able to show up for myself in that way. I'm not spending extra money ordering out, or I'm not spending extra money with that meal delivery service that I had been talking about. There are baby steps, basically. I'm taking some baby steps to show up for myself, and I do feel proud of myself. So, if there's anything that y'all have been showing up for yourselves where it was difficult for you to do that, but you're taking it little by little, I would love to hear what those things are that you have been dealing with. Welcome to another episode of the Me in the Making podcast. I'm your host, Melly Clay, and thanks for joining me. This is a show about introspection, self discovery. It's about encouraging personal growth. And I've been doing this show for 3 years now. This is season 3, and I am on audio and video. So please join me on YouTube if you would like to see the video of me here. And if not, if you're still on audio, that's fine. You can find me anywhere you listen to podcasts on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Pocket Casts, wherever. The feed goes everywhere. So if you would like to listen on your commute or when you're working out, or maybe it's a part of your meditation routine, definitely let me know when you like to listen to me. I would love that feedback. And speaking of feedback, I want to read this review for you all that I got for season 3, and I would love to encourage you all to leave a review for me. It really helps to boost the show and help people know what to expect from the show. So, whatever, well, maybe not whatever. I would love a 5-star positive review, of course. But let me know if you have any other feedback because that will really help me to refine the show and give you all what you're looking for. But this review came from someone, they named themselves Pretty Speeches, and they called this review The Roads We're Traveling Together. I've gotten to know Melly from social media. I've heard a handful of the interview episodes, which were fabulous. The third season gives us a deeper view into her personality and her musings on the everyday and the serious, as if we're on the road with her in becoming our most well rounded selves. Thank you so much, Pretty Speeches. That is such a glowing review, and I really appreciate you taking the time out of your day to leave it and to give your feedback. And you really captured the spirit of this podcast and what it is that I want to impart to you all, how I want to go about my life, and basically I want to output that for you all. And I hope that you all let me know how you are receiving the show. And so I would love it if you would take the time to leave me 5-star rating and a review on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. And right now I have over 25-star reviews, and I would love for that number to go up. So please, if you have the time, please do that and share it with your friends and family. And hopefully, we can all be growing together and becoming what we want together. And that review spoke to some interview episodes. So, seasons 1 and 2 are all interviews where I'm talking to friends and people who wanted to be on the show. And I'm asking them about their lives, who they are now, who they were when they were younger, and what was their journey in getting to who they are now, and who do they want to become. And we have some really good conversations. So I encourage you to go back if you haven't listened to them in seasons 1 and 2. And those episodes are audio only. And there will be some interview episodes coming up in seasons 3, and then I'm thinking beyond that in seasons 4, of course. So yeah, if you've got the time, I would highly recommend going back to listen to those because They have people were sharing some really good insights into who they are, and I think that they are some universal gems. So whenever you've got the time, go back and listen. And this episode, I am just giving a little catch up to you all, stuff that I've been um, thinking about in my life, stuff that I've been doing, and some things that kind of relate back to some previous episodes that I have released in season three, in this very season. And, just some ways that I'm becoming, basically. So there was an episode about me basically saying that I am tired of cooking. I'm tired of cooking for myself, but I know that it's something that I need to do. And even though I know it cognitively that I need to do it, it can be a lot sometimes to actually cook for myself. But I will say recently, I would say in the past like month, 6 weeks, I have actually been able to cook meals for myself. I feel very proud. I'm very proud of myself that I've been able to show up for myself in that way. And whether it's making breakfast for myself, like if I'm working from home that day, I'll make omelets for myself, maybe some toast on the side. If I'm going into the office, I'll make sure to bring yogurt and I have my granola and chia seeds. And I picked up these dried blueberries and dried cranberries just to have that breakfast be a little more hearty when I'm in the office. And I've been making spaghetti for myself. I've been even just grabbing something from the grocery store, like Trader Joe's has these really good glass bottles of soup. So I've been warming that up and maybe having some bread on the side or like having a little sandwich on the side in ways that, like little ways. I haven't been doing a lot of full-fledged meals, but in these ways, I'm able to show up for myself. I'm not spending extra money ordering out, or I'm not spending extra money with uh that meal delivery service that I had been talking about. So I'm able to save money there and also show up for myself for my nutritional needs. So there are baby steps, basically. I'm taking some baby steps to show up for myself, and I do feel proud of myself. So if there's anything that y'all have been showing up for yourselves where it was difficult for you to do that, but you're taking it little by little, I would love to hear what those things are that you have been dealing with. And maybe you're not on the other side of it yet, where, maybe you're still dealing with it. I would love to know, and we can maybe share tips with each other, or just to have a space for you to come and vent about how things are difficult because let's be honest, things are difficult. And I think sometimes sharing those frustrations with people can help you to even process it and maybe figure out ways that you can show up for yourself, or figure out ways that you can tackle that thing. And oh, I went to the apple orchard with my sister. By the time this episode comes out, it's been like a couple months since we went to the apple orchard, and I will have made these soups by then. But currently, so I got a couple soups, like dry soup uh packages. And what's really nice about these is that they give you all of the dried ingredients, all of the like herbs and spices that you might need, the beans in this one, and the rice in this one. So I only have to get the wet ingredients and the meat and maybe some produce. So, ooh, my little mic filter here. So this one is the apple sausage and bean soup mix. These are going to be really good for the winter time. I actually cannot wait. I think I might make some this weekend. Make one of these this weekend. But this is the apple sausage and bean soup mix. And on the back, it even gives you the recipe. So it's all in here. And all I need to buy are is like the wet ingredients, like the chicken broth, the sausage, the things that aren't shelf stable, they can't put in this little cute little pack. And then I also got this one chicken and rice soup mix, and the recipe is on the back as well. And all I have to get here are is the chicken breast, the chicken broth, some stalks of celery, and some lemon juice. Like for me, this is huge. This is huge. So if you don't know about these soup packs, take a look in your grocery store and see what you can see because it really cuts down your grocery list. And these will make probably, if I'm only eating it myself, probably it'll last for the whole week, or if I don't want to eat it all that whole week, I can freeze half of it and come back to it in maybe a couple weeks and eat the rest of it. And finding something like that, I'm like, I feel like I unlocked something. I haven't made them yet, so I don't know how good it's gonna be. But even if, I need to add a little extra seasonings or something that I already have in my home, I've I've unlocked a cheat code. I'm really excited about these soup mixes. So that is something that I've been working on in these past few months because I'm like, I can't keep ordering this meal delivery service. Like, I need some variety, even though they have different meals, everything was kind of tasting the same. Like, it just tasted like the same base of cream of mushroom soup, which is fine in a pinch, but I was like, okay, Melly, you gotta show up for yourself. So that's one way that I've been shifting that area for myself, and it's been going well. So I'm excited. I'm very excited about those soup mixes. So I'll let y'all know on social media how they taste. Um, and also, my friend has been getting Russian manicures, and I've been hearing about Russian manicures on TikTok, and I finally decided to get me a couple Russian manicures. I was like, let me see what these girls are talking about and see what's happening. So before I even got a Russian manicure, I was looking videos up on TikTok and on YouTube and just seeing what was all the hoopla about them. And basically, it's a dry manicure, which is a manicure that I've never gotten before. And they don't soak your nails, anything at all. It's all dry. And your pedicure as well. So I also got a Russian panicure. I said panicure. I also got a Russian pedicure, and my feet, my hands, nothing ever touched any water. And the beauty about this is that they say that it's supposed to help the polish adhere to your nails better because they weren't recently wet. So, because your nail bed is still dry, that polish, the gel polish that they're putting on, is supposed to last even longer than a regular manicure. And those typically for me would last like maybe 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks before maybe they started chipping or they looked a little too grown out. It would be maybe like close to half my nail is grown out on the traditional manicures where I would need to go back to get my nails done after 2.5 weeks, let's say, to stretch it out. And with these Russian manicures, they were saying that because they're using this dry technique and they're also cutting off your entire cuticle. Which, when I heard about this, I was like, cutting off my whole cuticle? Like, what does that mean? What do you mean by that? And I mean, just that they cut off the cuticle. And, but so many people were raving about it that I decided to try it. And also, I heard a personal review from one of my good friends who's been getting her nails done for years. So I trusted her to know that what she was getting done was feeling safe and good to her. So I ventured out. I got a Russian manicure and pedicure, and this is actually my second set. So I'd gotten another set. Oh, and this one too. I like doing different colors on my hands. So if you're not watching, I have like a beige color on my left hand and a chocolate brown color on my right hand. And I will have a picture come up over here that shows what just like a regular manicure looked like in comparison to what I have now. And the difference is subtle, but to my eyes, it's like, wow, I have so much nail bed that is covered right now because entire cuticle was removed in this Russian manicure as opposed to only being pushed back in a traditional manicure that we have getting done here in the US. And because that entire cuticle is gone, it frees up a couple centimeters on my nail. So then, even if my nail isn't very long, like past my nail bed, it still looks like there's a good amount of length there because more of my nail bed is exposed because the cuticle is completely gone. So, and I also noticed that, so those other red nails, I think I have those red nails in one of my previous episodes, so you can maybe kind of see. I talk a lot with my hands, so you might be able to see those red nails in a previous episode. I think in the dating episode. Um, but I noticed with those nails, those lasted like 3.5 weeks without me feeling like I needed to go back to get them redone. I probably could have stretched it another week, but because I was traveling a lot, I some of my nails were actually breaking because I had to like carry that suitcase to a couple different cities and just getting back to Chicago. So anyway, my nails were breaking, so I wanted to get them cut down and taken care of so they wouldn't keep breaking. But from the actual manicure, from the actual like they weren't growing out that much, I could have stretched it probably like 4.5 weeks, I would say. So these Russian manicures at this point and my pedicure, I'm not going to show y'all my feet because y'all aren't paying for that. But my feet, the big toe kind of looked like I had acrylic on that toe because it looked so long. I mean, that sounds kind of crazy, but it just looked like there was so much of the nail bed exposed that I was like, this is amazing. I love this. Now, of course, Russian manicures and pedicures are more expensive than your traditional manicure and pedi. And it takes them a bit longer because they're being very precise. They are paying attention to detail here on your nails and feet. And so it's going to take longer and it's going to cost more. But I do think that saving time going into the nail shop, that it's worth it. At least it's worth it for me. If you are someone who gets your nails and feet done anyway, I would say maybe look into Russian manis and pedis if you haven't already and try them out because you're going to save time going into the nail shop. Even though it'll take maybe two, 2.5, 3 hours to get your nails done. If you cut down your going into that nail shop, a th- maybe 2/3 of the time, you're saving time right there, and you're not paying. Say you get a no chip gel manicure, and that costs you $70, but you have to go every 2 weeks. What if you paid, maybe $100 for a Russian manicure and you go every, let's say, 4 or 5 weeks? You've already cut that down because you saved $40. So that's how I've been calculating all of this in my mind when I think about Russian manicures and pedicures. So I really enjoy these. I like them and look more into Russian manicures and pedis for yourself. Don't only use this video as research, but take a look into them. It's just so nice. I love them. Um, and okay. Before I get into Pod Corner, I want to talk to y'all about this television show. So it's little known. I don't know if you all have watched it before. It's not that popular yet, but me and some of my girlfriends have been watching this TV show together, and we have just been finding it to be so good. And it's called The Wire. See the little joke I played on y'all? The Wire is a hugely popular show that was done in the early 2000s on HBO, like one of the first big shows that HBO had, like after The Sopranos, I think, and like Sex and the City was all happening around that same time. And this has been a huge blind spot for me in the space of television culture. I tried to watch it once before. I'd watched one episode in the past and I wasn't able to get into it. But A friend of mine was like, I'm gonna start watching The Wire. And I was like, you know what? People have been talking about it. It's been coming up more in the zeitgeist as of late. And so I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna join you. So some of us are watching this television show. I'm in the middle of season 2 right now. And hopefully by the time this episode comes out, I will almost be finished. But I've just been gobbling it up. I mean, the storylines, it's really the character development for me. It like the show is so detailed, and sometimes it's kind of slow in parts. Like I was saying, it was hard for me to get into the first episode, but after episode 3 in season 1, it just like took off for me. And you really have to pay attention. This is not really a show where I can multitask, but I need to be watching. I even have the subtitles on because there are a lot of different characters and I want to know all their names. I did the same thing with Game of Thrones. I wanted to know all their names, everything. So seeing it written out and spelled out and everything helps me to continue to connect the dots between, okay, who's over here, who's over there, who's doing what, what's doing who. So The Wire, it's just so good. And there's so many memes that now I understand the context of. Like, you have the various Idris Elba memes, you have the various Michael K. Williams memes, and you just have a lot of different memes that even happened in season 1 where I'm like, that's where that's from. That's why, it's just an amazing cultural touchstone. So if you have not watched The Wire, I would say get into it. I'm having a ball. It feels like a timeless TV show. Like the show is started over 20 years ago and it's great. So definitely check that out if you haven't already. And yeah, this has been a cute little catch up of the things that I've been doing lately. And let me know if you have a TV show that you want me to watch. I think I will be watching Snowfall after The Wire because someone was telling me how good Snowfall is. Obviously everyone's been talking about Snowfall, but he was just giving me like a personal recommendation about how good the show is. And there is at least one character, one actor who's on Snowfall who is also on The Wire. So that's a cute little Easter egg for y'all. And I will leave you with a Pod Corner podcast recommendation. So this podcast recommendation is for this podcast called Modern Love, and it's New York Times podcast. This show is just I really enjoy it. The love that is shared on that show, it's very encouraging and also very realistic. Like people come on there, they're not just reading essays about, oh, it was all sunshine and rainbows and sunflowers and everything. They really do get into it. And I do like the realistic aspect of it because it also helps to show how love can be very real and supportive, and it can show up in different types of ways. So I really enjoy listening to the show because it does give me hope, even in its realistic depiction of love. It gives me hope for love, and also it's a celebration of love. There's friendship, there's romantic love, a lot of romantic love. I will be honest. There's not like a ton of platonic love on there, but it does highlight a lot of those, and it just it helps me to see how love is showing up for me in my life, how I'm giving love in my life as well. And I really enjoy it. So please watch. Well, I think you can only listen. So listen to the New York Times Modern Love podcast episode. Or let me say that again. Listen to New York Times Modern Love podcast, and I think it would do you some good. This has been another episode of the Me in the Making podcast. Please rate us 5 stars on Apple Podcasts, on Spotify. Subscribe to this YouTube channel. Subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. Tell a friend, tell a family member. We all deserve to grow and change and become our best selves, whatever that might look like to you. And please connect on Instagram at Making Me Pod, on TikTok. You can email me at meli@makingmepod.com. I would love to hear from you. Let me know if you want to be a guest on the show. And yeah, I'm just having such a great time. I'm so happy to have been able to launch this video episode for you all, and come again. Bye.